Hi guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is Saturday. It's September 28th, 2024. Great to be with you tonight. And that means we're kicking off a brand new master topic. I'm really excited about that. Thanks for being with me, whether you're with me at 9:55 p.m., 9:55 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m. Doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. So let's get right into the episode. But before I do, let me tell you what the master topic is for the week. All right. The master topic for this week is a really, really good one. And the title is this, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? And it goes like this: How contextual versus literalist motivation shapes our drive for success. We're on series 40, by the way, in case you were wondering. And let's dive right into tonight's thing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about what we're going to be covering over the week. So, welcome everyone. Why don't you go grab yourself your favorite beverage, a snack, a fruit, whatever. Get that real quick and join me back here in the chair. Or if you're on the road, get yourself a little snack or candy bar or what have you. And whether you're trying to push through challenges at work, grow personally, or find the best way to motivate yourself and others, my series is packed with insights just for you. Over the next 7 days, we're going to explore the core principles of contextual versus literalist motivation and how they can reshape the way you think, act, and succeed. So, first, before we can get started, let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to be covering. So, the roots of motivation, understanding contextual versus literalist approaches, motivation in the workplace, learning and growth, how contextual motivation fuels our long term development, the efficiency of literalist motivation, the role of emotional intelligence in contextual motivation, combining forces, how contextual and literalist motivation work together, and which style suits you, identifying your motivational style for maximum success. All right, so before we can get started, let's talk about what the heck the roots of this are. So when we think about contextual, okay, contextual, and let's go over to my good friends over Merriam-Webster to help us out with what is contextual. Contextual. So, contextual is the parts of a discourse that surround a word or passage and can throw light on its meaning. Like context, right? When we say something in a sentence that's surrounded about other words that are like in the same frame, we get a context, right? Interrelated conditions which sometimes exist or occur in an environment. When somebody says, you took what I was saying out of context. I didn't say I wasn't going to help you. I said I wasn't going to help in this environment. So you misunderstood that, right? So now you know what contextual means. So what the heck does literal mean? So literal means you're according to the letter, the scriptures. You're without any deviation. You're adhering exactly to fact or to ordinary construction or primary meaning of a term, expression, actual, free from exaggeration or embellishment, characterized by a concern mainly with facts of or relating to or expressing in letters, reproduced word for word. All right. So now that we know a little bit about this, I want to draw the insights of where this came from. So there was a passage, and I try not to make them religious, but sometimes we do get in that. I was at church today, and when our pastor was doing the gospel, he was talking about the fact that you know getting into heaven or whatever, and if something causes you to sin, so if it's, for example, if it's your left eye, pluck it out. If it's your hand, get rid of it. If it's your foot, get rid of that, or whatever it is, get rid of it. So we're going to talk about what that means in the literal sense and what it means in the contextual sense. So what the Bible didn't mean is it didn't mean to literally go cut your hand off or rip your eye out. That was the implied meaning, but that's not what the Bible was standing for. Okay. Uh, so what does all that mean? I think most people don't understand that contextual is here to help us do what we need to do. But unfortunately, contextualists can cause challenges in a lot of people's lives. And so, you might be saying, why did this happen? And so a lot of people just go for the moment. Okay. They go for that moment. And that moment is something that a lot of people don't quite understand. Okay. They don't quite understand that. And so that moment a lot of times becomes literal when it should be contextual. So we're going to be talking a lot about this week, about what's literal and what's contextual. So let me just give you let's say a brief synopsis of this. So literal means that if I say to you to do something, you do exactly what I say, word for word, no questions asked. Okay. And you have my interpretation as being exactly what I said. If I tell you, make sure, that if something goes wrong, that you throw out um, the entire um, uh, the entire food as well as all the liquor. Now, that doesn't mean throw the liquor out. So throw out the food, including including everything else in the kitchen. It doesn't mean that. It's meaning that you've got to just start from scratch and work from. So that would be what the meaning is. It's a contextual meaning. It's not a literal meaning. It's like, oh well, what are you doing? I'm throwing away everything in your kitchen. You said if it didn't taste good, just to throw everything out in the kitchen. No, 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 no. I didn't mean that. I was trying to make a point. Well, you said if it didn't taste good, then throw everything out in the kitchen. But that's not what I meant. I meant that as a point so that you would actually take cooking seriously. And then if it didn't work, then you'd have to start from scratch again. Maybe I should have said that you have to just go back to the drawing board. But I was trying to make an emphatic point that being conscientious with the items you choose, the groceries you have, it's very important that you make these choices carefully in your life. Okay, that's the most important thing. So contextual meaning, right? Um, I think when we talk about contextual, like in the Bible or in other places. Like I gave you the example here to make a point, but it really wasn't to get you to throw everything out. So what are some other contextual phrases that don't mean what they say? So they're basically idioms. That's the best way to think of it. Okay, kick the bucket, right? The bird kicked the bucket. Birdie kicked the bucket. The bird died. Um, let the cat out of the bag. You didn't let any cat out of the bag. There was no cat. It was all about, did you reveal a secret unintentionally? Hit the nail on the head. Did you hit the nail? You just did it precisely right. You got it right the first time. Bite the dust to fail. Break a leg. We don't want you to break a leg before you go on stage. It's means good luck in the theater environment. Costs an arm and a leg, and you're not going to get an arm or a leg to be very expensive. Fit as a fiddle, to be in excellent health. Okay. Turning a blind eye, to ignore intentionally neglect. Barking up the wrong tree, to pursue the wrong course of action. Okay. Spill the beans, to reveal a private secret. Bury the hatchet, you really didn't bury anything. It's time to make a peace settlement. Go cold turkey, it means that you're going to stop the habit of whatever you're doing just plainly out of sight, and you're not going to do it in a crescendo or a decrescendo, right? We remember from last week, we talked about the graduality of things, right? Uh, See a man about a dog. It's a humorous phrase used as an excuse for leaving or avoiding a situation, often implying you need to go to the bathroom. There's an elephant in the room, a major problem or issue that everyone is aware of, but that is being intentionally ignored or avoided. Storm in a coffee shop. There's no storm in a coffee shop. Don't worry about his angry email. It's just a storm in a coffee shop. He'll cool down. Bite off more than you could chew. You really didn't put anything in your mouth. It's just you're thinking right now that I think you took a task on responsibility that's probably too difficult for you to handle at the current moment. So you can see how these things can really, I guess, frustrate some people or maybe get you to think the wrong direction. So what I want you to understand is that when we hear these things, they come from somebody that knows they're an idiom, that knows they're an expression. But if you've never heard these before, you're like taking it literally. So I think what we're going to learn this week is how to understand literal and how to understand contextual. Literal means that exactly what I've said, like don't let the cat out of the bag. You literally let a cat out of a bag. That's the literal. The contextual is you didn't, you told a secret, you told something confidential. So I think these are very important things. And so as we move on this week with this great topic, we're going to learn about the keys of contextual and literalist meanings and how they can propel us forward towards success. If we jump on the wagon too soon, there's another one. We're not really jumping on a wagon. I mean, we're doing something without taking the necessary pre-steps. Like if we're going to bake a cake, we got to make sure that we actually mix it correctly, right? So don't jump off the horse, or don't jump on the horse too soon, or don't jump on the truck right away. Nobody's jumping on any truck. It's just explaining the fact that you're going too far, or don't jump the gun. Nobody's jumping over a gun. They're literally just pulling something that's a little crazy. Does that make sense? All right, guys. I think you're going to enjoy this week's set of shows. My name is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always such a privilege, a pleasure and honor to be with you guys every single day or night that I'm with you, whether it's for inspirations for your life, whether it's JMore Tech Talk, or whether it's any one of my other pieces of motivational content. It is a privilege, a pleasure, and honor. I hope you will please check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow, which is September 29th. And we're going to talk more about this. And then we have one more day in the month, which is the 30th. And then on Tuesday, there'll be October 1st. So do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com. Remember, on Mondays is the release of JCM Academy motivational track that comes out. On Friday is Super Motivational Fridays. And we'll be bringing our Science Bee back very soon. We kind of took a hiatus from that, but we'll be bringing that back. I hope you guys understand this, and I hope that you can appreciate the fact of where I got this inspiration from. And it was actually from church today. I got the inspiration that, we can't always be literal. And many times we have to be contextual. But sometimes we can't be contextual and we have to be literal. So we have to know when to be what. And I'm going to kind of go through that as we go through this week. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mr. John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your night, and I'll catch you tomorrow, all right? Be well, everyone.